Good morning again and welcome back to the channel. No piece to camera straight away. I'm just walking about. Some of you will recognise this place from where I've taken several sets of shots and videos over the last well, probably 2-3 weeks now. These are the woods at the back of my house at the top of the hill. It's quite pleasant up here except for one thing. It's a bit grey and overcast today, and as a result, if I spin you round, you can see a slight amount of mist in the distance, but a lot of new growth on the trees. What I'm going to do today is, the theme of this little video will be patterns in nature, and I suspect it's going to be about black and white patterns, although I'm not convinced yet, but I'm hoping and suspect it will be, and I'm hoping to come away with some quite nice, interesting images from here. So I'm travelling very light. I've only got the vlogging camera on the gimbal, hence giving you this nice silky smooth footage hopefully, and I've got my wife's RX100 Mark4, which is a 24 to 600 millimeter zoom, and it's a nice piece of kit, and it doesn't get out very often. Yes, no, it doesn't get out very often, and the main reason for that is a very simple one. Its battery life is dreadful. I have vlogged about this a couple of times, but it really isn't good. It's not good at all. It has the original batteries that the original Sony A7 had, which are these MP somethings, and they really don't last very long at all, and it's very, very unfortunate that that's the case, because they should do. On my A7R4 they fixed the battery issue problem by making the batteries about 20% larger, but in doing that it's not 20% more power, it actually seems to be quite a lot more, because I never have any issues with battery life on that camera. But this one, I only need to use it a few times, and I accept it's got a power zoom on it, whereas my A7R4 doesn't have, but it's a shame, because it means you've always got to carry a spare battery, or even two in some cases, if you're going to be out for any length of time. So I've covered my options and got the said spare battery with me, and I'm currently standing on top of a little mound surrounded by a few bluebells, and if I spin you round you'll be able to see in the distance over there in the mist is the Weald of Kent. We're about 250-300 foot above the village here, so on decent days we get half decent view, but I can see some potential here, so I'm going to get on with it and see what we get. Well, for those of you that follow the channel regularly, and thank you for doing so, it's much appreciated. The subscriber numbers are going up nicely. I'm really quite encouraged. I'm very pleased with it. You might notice that I haven't had a video out for a couple of days. There is a reason for that, and the reason's quite a simple one. Yesterday I went out with a view to seeing if I could just do a whole video using only a little GoPro Hero 3 that I have. It rarely gets used, and I thought, mount it on a stick and see if I can vlog with it. And I wasn't expecting to take any pictures. It was purely an exercise in vlogging. And got back home, had a look at the quality of the video that I'd produced, and thought, nope, that's not worked. That's not worked at all. For a start, the angle of the camera is almost a fisheye lens, so it's quite an unusual angle to vlog with. It doesn't look good from your face point of view. Secondly, the audio quality was, well, not good at all. Not to the standards that we're getting with the equipment I'm using at the moment, for example. So that explains why that didn't happen. Now, I'm just walking up on something, and I know I've taken pictures of this tree before, but I think this might satisfy my need for some textures, because the theme is patterns and textures. Patterns have been harder so far. I've got a couple, I think, but I'm not convinced. But this tree has certainly got texture. Have a look. There he is. That old fallen tree again. And I'm going to see what I can get here. There's some interesting lichen on the trunk, and because I don't have to climb up it to get higher up it effectively, I'll see what I can get from all this broken wood, colours wise. Some nice oranges there. Anyway, I'll get on with it. Try not to fall down this steep bank. The lichen isn't particularly impressive, but we'll give it a go. We will give it a go. Close up of lichen right out at 600 millimeters. It can't focus too close to it. Not the most interesting shot on the planet. How about that one? That's a bit better. That's a bit better. Going a bit closer. With the lens, not me, I just moved backwards, but it won't focus. It's too close. There we go. One shot. What else is there I could take a photograph of here? Yes, I was saying about these broken branches. Ooh. Oh, there's a nice pattern. The branch has broken along the length of it, and the two halves have moved relative to each other, and there's a zigzag tear mark showing the bark underneath, and it's really quite an interesting picture. Yeah, that, just frame it up nicely, and that does for my pattern picture, I think, for today. Have a quick look round, see if there's anything else. There's some more lichen here, it's a bit more pronounced. Let's see, there's a nice piece of lichen just there. There we are. This camera has got image stabilisation, it's just I need to stabilise it on the tree just then to improve my chances of getting a shot at the 20th of a second. f4.5. Right, so I've got a picture with a pattern in it, and I've got some texture. I'm not very happy with the texture I've got. I think there's better texture to be had. So I'm still on record, which is good. Yes, as I said, I've got the picture of that pattern. I'll take you over to show you what it actually looks like before you see the final image. Now, you can see there on that branch how there's a zigzag pattern happening, and the branch is clearly split like that. Now that's quite an interesting, almost a sawtooth-like appearance to the damage that the trees suffered as a result of falling over. What I want now is a nice pattern, and the pattern is the one I'm struggling with. There's a lot of things here. There's a lot of chaotic stuff here. Fallen trees, branches, wood left over after the logging exercise and all of that. But that's not a pattern. I need something that's got a bit of a pattern in it. So bear with me and I'll get back to you in a minute. On the hunt for pattern. I think along this track there are some very, very, very similar trees. I'm not sure if we'll get a pattern out of them. Might get texture. There's certainly texture on these three trees immediately in front of us, although one of them's quite badly broken down now. And look at this lovely early spring growth. Ooh, if I was taking that, I'd be taking that, but I'm not. Yes, there's a lot of old wood that's broken. See, there's a nice shot in the making. Just frame that up a little bit like that. I think I'll take that picture actually. I know that's not part of my remit here, but I think I'll have it anyway. I'm going to take that shot. I've got with me said A7 RX100 Mark4. I get confused with all these different Sonys. I must limit the number of cameras I have. And yeah, that's the shot. Panoramic, sorry, not panoramic, a portrait. I think it works better. Ozzy, come out of the picture. Come on, come on. There, that works. There's some flaring happening. Don't know how it's happening. It's not, there's nothing on the lens at all. The camera lens doesn't come off, or at least not without tools it doesn't come off. And yet I've got some highlights in the frame. It's not a bright sky that should cause that, and I can't shield it by putting my hand in front. I don't know what's happened there. Anyway, I've got the shot that I want, so I'll press on, put this back in the specially purposeful camera bag, namely my large pocket. That can stay in there, and I'm going to go on that way where I think there is something I can get. Let's hope there is. Right, now pattern. What I was thinking of was that this, which is very difficult to photograph, might give me pattern, but I'm not actually sure it's going to. It's too unwieldy or unwieldy. It's just too not geometric. Yes, there's a lot of stuff that's going up and down, but I can't visualize an image from here. It's just a series of vertical lines. So I'm going to find, there is a stack of wood that the loggers have taken, which is now aged a bit. It's been down several months, and with this rain that we've just had, it's going to look quite an interesting sort of colour. So I'm going to go and find that, which is back down the track the other way, and I think that might give me the pattern I'm looking for. Well, this is what I've chosen to take a picture of a pattern, because circles, rough circles in this case, are pretty geometric, and there are a series of 1, 2, 3, 4 ends of trees there in the centre of the frame, which I think form a pattern. It's not a perfect pattern, but it's not too bad. And someone's kindly put a log right across the top, which makes quite an interestingly framed picture, so I might take that picture as well. Yes, the ends of the tree trunks and cut wood do form sort of patterns. So I think the shot I've taken does pretty much what I hoped it would on the tin. So it's back home. Thank you very much for watching this. I'm talking quietly, strangely. I don't know why. It's probably because it's so peaceful here. I feel as if I'm breaking the sound, sort of disturbing the peace by talking. But 2 miles back now, and we'll see you in the final video, hopefully. Thank you for watching. Well, thank you very much for watching that. I hope you found it informative. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and support it in that way. Thanks very much for watching.